for a start.
No, they haven't.
No, they
what's
have,
the
but
answer?
you just don't
What's
want
the
to
answer?
listen. So you need to listen first. Now, this is a question you should ask yourself. And when you
You're not
get
answering.
answers, hold on, Tariq. This is a question you should ask yourself. And when you get answers,
Answer our question first, ma'am, and then we'll answer yours.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
My name's Tai.
My name's Kenny, and we are
the
the Balotwins.
Balotwins.
Okay, what's the topic of today's video?
So today's video, we're talking about the topic is basically about immigrants in general, like the
policies,
immigration
policies in America,
policies, right? But obviously, it's the African ones that really took it personal and decided to start answering back and responding on the spaces that were held on Twitter.
So we joined a space called Secure the Tribe. And
that's just the hashtag. Don't say it nonsense.
Is that not the name of the space?
No, that's not the name of it. Like, people open their different spaces.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very confused about this whole new Twitter thing. I was confused about the old Twitter. So
the new Twitter, like, Spaces is basically like the Clubhouse app. So it's just basically like kind of like a podcast but live. Like, people just open spaces and start talking about topics, and then anybody can join the space and then speak. You raise your hand and then you speak and that kind of stuff. So that's what a space is. It's those like circle things. I literally just found
that look like stories.
Yeah, that look like stories on Twitter now. So yeah, those are what spaces are on Twitter. So I joined one of the spaces and then sent her
on the Secure the Tribe hashtag.
Yeah. I can't remember the title of that space. But the day before had been Tariq's space, where he's the one that brought up the whole thing. I think he's a NBA player, NFL player, something. I'm not really sure.
He's a sports person.
Do not quote me on that. So yeah. So now Tariq's got hate from Africans.
Okay, so basically, what happened when you first joined the space? Because I joined it late.
Me too. I kind of joined it late. They were talking about, they were just very confused, honestly. Like, when I joined the space, I entered the space, I was very confused. I was trying to pick up on what was going on. It wasn't until later that a woman came on and said, we are talking about immigration policies. All this one, if you coming on here talking about my life story, talking about this and that.
It was
that's not what we're talking
most
about.
Most of it was emotional blackmail and
your history, this is this, and it's like, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the fact that immigration policies are not benefiting
African Americans.
Yeah, that's what they were basically trying to say. But the way that these guys were carrying it
before she came on like after the woman that she's even talking about, she came on like more than an hour after I had already joined the space. And that woman, like before that woman, there was this distinct South African man that I was just remembering. I don't know if it was black or white, but he kept saying the N-word. They were all just saying the N-word up and down. I was like, even in this black space, it doesn't like give you an entitlement to like use this slur. I feel like the way they were talking was just derogatory in all terms. Like if it was an African American that was talking, it was derogatory to Africans, and if it was an African person talking, it was derogatory to either another type of African or African Americans, because this South African guy was basically supporting
xenophobia.
Yeah.
Because that xenophobia stuff that happened.
Because he was talking about how Nigerians and other countries come to South Africa to because it's a little bit more developed, and they take all their jobs and all their spaces, and he was just saying the N-word and all this stuff, and I'm just like, is that the point of this space? I was really very confused.
So we eventually understood what on earth was going on, and as they kept talking about it, and I was learning about the history of immigration policies and how they even came about, like American side allowing immigrants into the country. I was like, okay, sure, they had like civil rights movements and stuff for immigrants to be able to come into the country. Then the host of the space now said that the reason that these civil rights movements were done for immigration policies to be put in were for reinforcements to be brought in for the black minorities at that time, for their black brothers, African and Caribbean brothers and sisters, to come, so there could be reinforcements so they could join hands and stop being oppressed and
white
everything.
Supremacy or whatever.
And I'm like, okay, they're saying that's why you brought immigrants
you helped
in.
Not that they brought them in, that's why you helped secure this immigration policy that allowed immigrants, right?
So I'm like, okay, cool, but
where was
did you tell the immigrants
was the
that
indoctrination? Where was the process where they're being getting off the plane and meeting new leaders and having this talk and having this
for them to understand that we're the ones that like push for this to happen, and we would like for this and this for us to like come together and fight what's been going on, what's happening.
There isn't
here.
anything like that. So for them to start saying this,
so as like they continue their little talk, honestly, like they were just talking for hours and hours, and it was just like entering each other. Everything was just getting confused. In the end, you shall know that there's a lot of discrimination going on in this very black. It's a black space. So everybody here is black, but there's so much discrimination going on in here right now. On top, say we are African, you're African American, and then they now said, like, after that South African guy spoke, and they were agreeing, talking about we need to get some more South African guys up in here, blah 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 blah. He now said something like maybe, but at the end of the day, we're all still niggas or something like that. He's like, whoa, we are not the same. We are not the same. I was like,
what is going on?
So then that's when I was like, it's like African Americans like to choose when they are not African.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll be like, yeah, we're for the culture. We want to go to the motherland. Blah, blah. Then all of a sudden we're not the same. We're not blah blah.
When you're in the same space trying to sort an issue, trying to pick out solutions, and like there was even a point where like somebody came on and was like, okay, we're not gonna do that because somebody else came on and I think was talking about Nigerians and other people. They were like, we're not gonna we're not gonna point fingers at people.
Yeah, it was a Nigerian guy that came up and like tried to set the level and say, okay, this is from the front of your Nigerians, this is from the front of your African Americans. Let's not just be pointing fingers here. Let's like, try to look for a solution.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Anyhow, so yeah, he just came on and was like that because there was somebody that was literally like putting blames on other people, and it was like that we're not here to like nip. We're supposed to be here to think of solutions to the problem that we're facing, right? And then this woman came on, and she said she went to Sudan. And she went to Sudan, and I don't know why she first went there, but basically she spent 2 years in Sudan trying to find ways that black communities in America could help Sudan. So they were like, okay, she was talking about how at first people were like, oh, help Sudan, but nobody does anything apart from like a hashtag or whatever. So she went to Sudan to try and like lay down groundwork and see what was going on, how they could help, and how, okay, if you guys don't have a Walmart, there's a black-owned business here that can, come and franchise in Sudan. If you guys don't have this, there's a black-owned business that does this. If you guys don't have this, there's a black-owned business that does this. Fine. She was doing all of that. It took her 2 years to do all that when she came back. And then I can't even remember what she really said after. But basically, she was basically talking about how if that's what people like, if that's what the black community wants to do, like their main problem is that jobs and funding opportunities are being taken from them by immigrants, right? So she was now like, if this is our problem, that's a brilliant solution. Like she's already had experience in that, in going to African countries and seeing how black-owned businesses can thrive and also help their ancestral communities.
That everybody completely overlooked, because even I didn't even think about it like that. Like what she just said, I didn't even think about it like that. That's so true. Like a black-owned business, like American black-owned business, doesn't necessarily have to thrive only in America.
Yes,
you know. So
they could be shipping things and people will be buying them, and
so like my main problem with like the whole topic of this thing is they think immigration is not the problem. If America was not supporting black people before immigration, what makes you think they're going to start supporting them if immigration, like if they stop or cancel immigration policies?
Do you know what? Another thing,
they need to sort out between themselves.
Another thing is that somebody said that that immigrants, like African immigrants especially, like to come to America and then they'll be doing stuff, right? And then I think they have other opportunities that they don't have as per their immigrants, not foundational black people. So that they now come and then I'll be like, look at all these opportunities that you black Americans have. You guys aren't taking advantage of this opportunity. You're not taking advantage of this opportunity. But as a matter of fact, even though it seems like they have that opportunity, a lot of them don't have access to it. So it's like more like they have the opportunity on paper and it seems like it, but they don't have access to it in a lot of ways. That's what somebody was saying, right? But then when, like about what Taiwo was saying just now, like it was also my thought process is that they're not very organized. Like they're not organized, and you can see it as like, okay, we're Africans, putting blame on African Americans again and saying that you guys are not taking the opportunities that you're given, right? It's not like we're trying to put blame and be like, you're not taking advantage of your opportunity. It's more like we're seeing the flaws in your areas, right? Like we're seeing the flaws.
We see that you still have 10,000 times more opportunities than every African could in their own country.
Yeah,
but
because
you're not
just as a matter of fact that you're born in like a first world country.
Exactly. Like they don't necessarily hand you that opportunity on a silver platter. There are still opportunities. There's still plenty of Black Americans that thrive in that same America, and it's not like they were given that opportunity necessarily. They also worked for it.
Yeah,
they found it. What we're saying is that maybe y'all should just sit down and come together, but and like create opportunities for yourself, and like look at the loopholes that are there.
That's the thing though, because when it seems like we're pointing blame, right? And you now say, okay, Black Americans don't take this and this, but then they don't, like, as they're, even though people say Black Americans, is it a race that they call it? Like the Black American people, right? They are not, even though it seems like, okay, Black Americans are just Black Americans, there are so many divisions in like Black Americanship or whatever.
Yeah.
In African Americanism, that there isn't enough.
Their roots are very, very deep, because like if somebody does a DNA test, you'll be seeing them from West Africa, Caribbeans, this. So it's all very,
like they don't have enough. Yeah, they don't have enough unity to organize themselves in the way that they want to be organized.
Because somebody also mentioned the fact that so many communities are thriving, like immigrant communities are thriving in America.
Yeah, they have Ethiopian town, Chinatown.
I'm like,
it's not like somebody
came together.
It's not like somebody came and gave them money and said, go build Chinatown. It's that they saw each other, because they were like minorities. They saw that, okay, there's only 5 of us here or whatever, or 10 of us here. Let's do what we can at this point. As we're bringing more people, and as we're having our children, they'll keep contributing to this society, this community that we're building. But African Americans, because there were already so many of them scattered around,
because they're foundational,
they're all trying to just kind of like reach the top independently, because that's like the American thing. Like commercialism is like not even commercialism, meritocracy. Meritocracy is basically this divide of the work that you do is going to get you to the highest place, when most often it's not the work that you do, it's the people that you know, the networks that you have, and the money that you have. So all the like Black Americans are like, they have their own environments. Maybe some are living in the ghetto, maybe some are in the suburbs, right? But some are like, they're all trying to reach this peak, this top that they see for themselves. And at a point where it comes to like, you have to like cut other people off, they will do that. It's not like a community thing. Like most often than not, it's not a community, let's all get to the top. It's a, let's get to the top, and then wherever anybody else falls, I'll keep trying to climb on my own.
Like for example, now when I was talking to it with a friend, like he's the one that even like hit me up and told me about what was going on. Then I checked it out, and he was like, it's really not a problem it's not about the immigrants. It's them that are not really ready to build and bring their own community together, like you just said. And like for example, now in Nigeria, you will see like in Nigeria Twitter space, there are literally pages that help people travel abroad, that help people do things. And then when you get there, there'll be different communities of Nigerians. They're ready to help you, like get a job, get a place to stay. If it's for you to stay with them for a week before you can get on your feet, that kind of stuff, that community is there. And it's not because the American government gave them money to be able to do these things. People got there, they established themselves, and they're like, I want to help other people. And because they know we know where we're coming from. Like when they were like they allowed immigrants to come. Immigrants wouldn't come if their own country was safe, if their own country was comfortable for them. They obviously leave to find a better life, to get a better future for them, for their families, for whatever reason that they're coming for. So obviously when they come there, they're looking for their own. They're looking to do their own thing, to establish their own selves, and then they'll not help their own people as well. So you cannot just expect immigrants to just come and be like, oh yeah, I'm here to help the African Americans or whatever it is that whoever like allowed me to come here, help me to get here. You get, because that's just not how it works, man. So, what we're trying to say is, stopping immigrants coming is not going to help your situation. It's you people that will have to. And sorry, I wanted to say,
it's not that we're saying that there are any African American communities that do these kinds of things and help each other, because there are so many. But it's just that the way that African Americans speak on social media, it seems that those ones are far and few, and they're not enough, and they're not like
they're not making an impact.
Yes, that's
or
basically
enough of
how.
an impact.
So basically, like, let's say you have this community in Atlanta, you have another one in the other side of Atlanta, you have one in Georgia, you have one in California, you have one in Washington or whatever. These small communities, right? But like, basically what African Americans are trying to do is they want it to be one whole general national association of black people, and that's just not how it is. Because even if you come, whether you're a Nigerian, you're in Nigeria, or you're a Nigerian outside of Nigeria, you will still have communities that's like the Nigerian Muslim community, the Nigerian Christian community,
the Nigerian Igbo community,
the Nigerian Yoruba exactly. So even those ones there, it's like they feel like, okay, we just come and we're doing our own thing. Even within our own, we still have communities inside communities. So they feel like, I feel like they're just some are seeing the work that's been done, but they're like not appreciating the fact that they have division, and like it's okay to have division. They just want it, but they want there to be a standard, I guess. They want there to be a standard of like this black community. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, because no black person came to America with the vision of, like, the first black people that came to America, they didn't come to America with the vision of building themselves in America. They came to America by force.
Exactly, without a choice.
So they were scattered, and the ones that managed to, like, the ones that were freed and all that stuff, they got communities. They built communities in each of these areas that have different values from each other. You know, if it was like, okay, like these first generation immigrants of like Scandinavians or Nigerians going into America, they can say that, okay, this is the community of people that are like me because we're all coming here to do this. But those ones, they didn't go there to do anything in particular. They were forced there, and then when they gained independence, they didn't know which way was right or left, or where to put their feet.
Want to go back to?
And like other slaves that were there, like they didn't have anything in common with them apart from the fact that they were slaves. So for you to want this general black association, I don't think it's ever gonna happen, to be quite honest with you. Just like there's never actually gonna be like like you have like, okay, Nigerian diaspora, but like there will be some Nigerians that will be like, I don't see myself as a Nigerian anymore. I'm a British person.
I'm a Ukrainian now.
So this fight for general what's it called, fun, what did he call himself? It was a title on his, when I went on his page, one of the hosts, it was like foundational Black American. This plight for like the foundational Black American, I don't think it's ever going to be heard.
And I don't think that immigration policies are going to be cancelled anytime soon, because they seriously benefit American economy.
Yeah.
So
because they're getting cheap labor. They come there, they want to work so that they can get a passport. So they will pay them any price that they want to pay, and they can't do anything about it because they know what they want, they know what they're working for.
And most immigrants that do come, that most if not all, when you first come to the country, it's not like they just immediately give you that high-end job. You have to work.
Most, not all, because most go there. I mean, it's because some go there with jobs already.
That's like in special cases. But most people, they have to work their way to the top. You like start off with the menial jobs before you can even get to a certain place, and that's not affecting. I don't talk tired. People, you understand the situation. Immigrants are not your problem. Organization is your problem. Okay, so we said what we said. Yeah.
I think the most organized Black American thing I've seen yet in my lifetime is the Black Lives Matter movement. And even that, I don't think anything. Okay. Yeah. So I went to check this thing and it cut off. But basically what I was saying was that I haven't seen anything tangible come out of the Black Lives Matter movement, like any black youth being, like homeless black youth being rehomed, or any businesses, any financial implications, stuff like that. So yeah, I just felt like that was the biggest thing I saw, and I didn't really see or hear of any big changes happening after that. So Yeah, you need to get yourselves organized and know exactly what you want.
And stop shifting blame.
Yeah.
Because this is just actually pointing fingers and shifting blame. Because like even on that space, when that Nigerian guy came on and said, okay, what exactly do you want us to do? Do we want immigrants to do? The answer was, you all should stop cooning and white ass kissing. I'm like, what are we supposed to do with that information? What?
That's not a solution at all.
At all. That's not a solution.
It just reminds me of like when it was like Donald Trump coming in and they were like, white people just thinking of any reasons to like send, because they wanted all Black Americans to be like deported or whatever, and they were just thinking of any random reason to just say, like, that's basically what African Americans are doing. Like literally, fundamentally, they're all Americans because they all show these exact same traits. When it comes to finding the solutions that you're looking for, you don't know what
fingers
exactly
around the bush. So I think the problem is within the community. You all need to like become one, like come together.
And if you can't become one, at least get to a point where you can be like, okay, this is enough of us to try and do something.
To make a change.
Stop trying to. I feel like the whole become one thing is never gonna happen. So stop trying to become one. Just keep trying to do your part.
Okay, at least in each state, know that there's like a solid Black community that's going to be helping other Black communities. And then the thing is, even when you have established your Black community, reaching out to other immigrant communities is not going to be something that's difficult for you to do, because there is a discrimination between African Americans and immigrants.
Yeah,
like there is a barrier there, and that's something that you all need to knock down if you know that you want help.
Somebody came on, I forgot his name, but the way Shola Bola, something Bolarin. But no, because I remember because he's the same name as somebody in my class. But the way he pronounced it was like so American.
Yeah.
He was from Washington DC or something. No, not Washington.
So that's giving us his life story about how the African said that he's not African and Nigerian enough.
Black American said that he's too African. That's like the thing, man. Like, there's always going to be a minority of a minority. There's always going to be segregation inside what's already segregated, right? So just try and find where you fit the most and do your most in that part and stop complaining, because because
instead of getting rid of immigrants, just get immigrants to help you.
When you get there, you now see that like there are people doing this work already there, but these are the people that aren't doing the work, that don't know the people that are doing the work, and they're just on social media complaining.
Yeah. Because there are people trying to build the Black community, trying to do different stuff.
Because when that woman from Sudan was talking, this host guy, he just went, yeah, because you get shit popping. That's the American in you. You get shit popping. That's the American. We Americans, we get shit popping. I'm like, I was like, I'm sure she didn't tell her whole life story just so you could say that. I'm sure she was trying to prefer a solution to the problem. And instead of you to kind of accept that as a solution, say, okay, maybe we could do this, or this is how we could, you started shouting, we're getting shit popping.
Anyway, so basically, our opinion is that a ban on immigration policies or cancellation of immigrations coming to America is not going to help us.
It's not going to help.
It's not going to happen anytime soon, because immigrants are literally helping the American economy.
Yeah.
But
we know that there are other people that will have different opinions, even though they're Nigerians. So please, why do I sound like this? So please, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Especially comment your opinions on this particular topic, because
hear what you have to say.
It was actually a fellow Nigerian that made me kind of not be apathetic, but be more understanding towards the Trump administration and the policies that they wanted to put in place and why they should have voted them in and all that stuff. So we're always looking to get our opinions changed. We're always looking to get our opinions changed.
And if not changed, at least for us to be able to understand
the other point of view. Yeah.
So please like, share, subscribe.
Thank you for watching.
Have a nice life.
Salam.